1, 2, 3.
Rock and roll, baby.
Right.
That's it.
Glenn,
Go on.
it's a pleasure.
Nice to meet you, Pat.
So, well, we've obviously talked for a few times before all this, and we've talked about this, that, and other, and said, right, we need to put this on camera.
Good
so,
idea.
I mean, I like to start with a cool story. I mean, you have got hundreds. I mean, how long's a pot? We could be here for 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah?
We don't want to be here 3 weeks.
So, I think a cool one to start off with is just tell us about when you went to Muhammad Ali's funeral, or what happened and how you got it.
I was like everybody else. I woke up in the morning early, and it were on news, obviously. It were on every news channel that you turned on. Muhammad Ali. I think...
So you were in Sheffield at the time?
Yeah, I was in Sheffield at the time. Big, as you can see from T-shirt and everything.
Yeah.
Massive Ali fan.
Yeah.
You know, I think what Ali's brought to the game and everything. But anyway, we knew he were ill. And then I woke up in the morning, early hours in the morning, and found out that he'd actually passed. And like you do with any funeral, you know, you want to pay your respects.
Yeah.
So don't ask me why I did it. I found myself, I booked a flight. I know, I booked a flight. I flew to Newark, and then jumped on another plane and flew to Louisville. The funeral itself were in a big sports centre kind of thing, and I knew I wouldn't get in the venue, but I just wanted to be there, you know, pay respects. And there were thousands of people turned up, absolutely thousands. I didn't tell anybody I was going. I just told a couple of kids at the gym, look, I mentioned the fact that, look, I'm going to go. I didn't know what was going to happen when I got there. I didn't know anything. I booked into a right little dump of an hotel, because all hotels were booked up. Because thousands and thousands of people descended on Louisville as soon as they found out Muhammad Ali had died. I got there, and it was mad. It was absolutely mad. But anyway, like I said, I never got into the venue where the funeral took. It was in a big, like, sports centre kind of thing. But what I did, I thought to myself, the next day I'm going to get to Muhammad Ali's. They've got like a museum,
right.
So I thought I'm going to get there early. So I got to the museum about 8 o'clock. So I thought it's got to open at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I got there early. I thought it's going to be packed.
Yeah.
Got to the place. There were flowers everywhere, and people had put things. You know, it was lovely. It was nice, if you know what I mean. But respect. And I sees a guy got a camera around his neck, and I just said to him, I said, "What time's this place open?" And he kind of like smiled at me and he went, "Where you from?" I went, "England." He went, "So am I." I went, "Never." He went, "Yeah." He said, "I live here in Louisville." I went, "I can't believe it." I'm still friends with him now through Facebook.
Yeah.
So he says,
it's a small world.
A small world. And he just said to me, we had a chat. He says, "Have you been to the cemetery yet?" I went, "No, it was only yesterday. He got buried."
Yeah.
He said, "Do you want to go?" And I thought, yeah, I'm in America.
Yeah.
And some bloke's asking, do I want to go in his car to the cemetery? I'm thinking, don't sound right, this, does it?
It could be dodgy.
Yeah, so especially in America. And so without a doubt, I just said to him, I'd love to.
Yeah.
So he says, "Come on, jump in my car." And he took me to a place called Caveville Cemetery. Massive cemetery. So anyway, driving through. And believe it or not, we were the second car to get to the cemetery. I think it must have opened at 9 o'clock, and we were the second car after we came out. There were cars everywhere.
Yeah.
We got stopped by some police officer who said, "Look, the family are having a private ceremony, so could you all just hold back a little bit?" But as we were holding back, cars were starting to pull up, and there weren't really much to see.
Yeah.
You know, there weren't a lot to see. It'd just been laid to rest. A few flags and memorial things. The family were just leaving, and I just wanted to see where the greaties were buried, and that were it.
Yeah.
And then I'd done it, ticked that one off. We left. The guy I'm telling you about, call him Bupinder, he's from, I think he's Indian by descent, but he lived in London.
Right.
Become really good friends with him. Took me out for a meal, him and his wife. Looked after me really, really well. And again, that's the thing about Muhammad Ali. I've flown to the other side of the world, and some people who you've never met before.
But don't you find that with Americans, or you won't really? Don't you think? I don't think you get that as much here. I think you get a little bit of it, but not to that extent. They really.
Yeah, I mean, we've got something in common, haven't we?
Yeah.
We're both Ali fans, and you know, he happened to be at the memorial same day as me. But and like I said, since then we've become friends.
Yeah.
But again, they looked after me while I was there. Only there 3 days. It was mad.
Yeah.
But then the other thing I wanted to see, I wanted to see Muhammad Ali's child at home. You can't go to Louisville and not see his child at home. So I jumped in a taxi, got to talk to this guy who was from Detroit. had a good chat to him. Lovely bloke. Anyway, dropped me off outside the house, and I thought, it don't look very nice round here. Apart from Ali's childhood home, it's not a place I thought you want to be walking. And in fact, I said to the taxi driver, what's it like round here? And I remember what he said to me, and he says, down that road, even the mailman don't come round here. And I thought, so I said to him, will you wait for me?
Yeah.
So he waited outside the house. I went, there's an house next door to it, which is like you buy tickets and, souvenirs. So I went in there. Again, flowers everywhere. And it was just nice to know that you'd stood in the footsteps of greatness. This is where Muhammad Ali was born. Yeah. I've got a picture of Muhammad Ali. He's bought a Cadillac and he's on the front and he's showing his car to his mum. It's a famous black and white picture. And I'm thinking, you know what? This is where I'm stood. I'm stood in
that spot.
I'm stood in the where it's great. It's the greatest. Yeah. And that was it. And like I say, I'm glad I did it. A lot of people didn't know I'd been until I come back. Yeah. It was a million mile. Everything seemed to be a million mile an hour.
But sometimes when you do things like you don't plan, they're the best experience.
I didn't. It
you'll never forget.
Just something. No, I never forget it. The things I saw all over there. Going to his house, going to his graveside before anything. It was brilliant, and the people I met, and everybody who you spoke to over them 3 days that I was there. Yeah. Had a story about Muhammad Ali, or were there for the same reason, or there were television people there. Who
were like Elvis, weren't it?
Oh, it's like when Elvis died. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did it. You've seen the pictures.
Yeah.
And it's strange because you think to yourself, well, it was a funeral, but it weren't just a funeral. No. It was the funeral of the greatest.
Yeah, but it's like in a way you were paying respect to him by going there. So the reason why I said that as well is that what got you into boxing, Ali? You think?
No, I never learnt about Muhammad Ali until I got into boxing, and it weren't until I never really knew about Muhammad Ali as a kid. I can remember only a little bit. Sat in my house, I was living with grandparents. I remember my granddad watching Cassius Clay and Henry Cooper on a little television, and I weren't paying that much attention to it. But I remember my granddad not being a fan of Ali's because they always said that's not boxing, that kind of thing. Them older guys always say, and that's the first. Cassius Clay, that was the first time I can remember even hearing about Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, whatever. And then until I started boxing again, never thought about it.
A few people went off with him being objective thing as well.
But I take my hat off to him for that. Yeah. One of the things, the reason being is that was what he believed in.
Yeah.
And he was willing to give up everything for what he believed in. Yeah. How many athletes or superstars these days would give up anything?
No, they won't.
They won't. And don't forget, he gave up the heavyweight championship of the world.
And money as well, because like I said, he won't walk away from money now.
Well, there was one point we were broke, weren't we? We were having to do like speeches in New York just to earn a few quid. Yeah. So athletes these days won't give up anything. No. So to me, Ali's probably the greatest that he's ever been.
I mean, we're going to go obviously back to how you started and stuff. So. What got you into gym in the first place? I've been down to your gym, and I saw first time I went down, I saw these two school kids walk in, and you could tell they were having a look. Yeah. They weren't sure, and then you know what I mean. What got you in?
That's exactly what happened with me. I left school. I was the type of kid hung around at street corners. Like my boxing story is typical of a lot of kids hung around at street corners. Never really played football, but didn't do nothing at school. Didn't do no sports or anything. Got to 16-year-old, all my mates started getting jobs and doing different things, and a bunch of us said, you know what, there's a gym not too far away from here called St Thomas's Boys Club. Yeah. And, that became famous with Brendan. So we walked into the gym, met this crazy Irishman, which I remember thinking to myself, this bloke's crazy.
Yeah, is that what you thought?
That was my first impression.
Is that because we were very different from anybody else you met in time, or just...
Yeah, I'd never met anybody like that before in my life. Not school teachers, not anybody. Brendan were a one-off, weren't he? Yeah. And then we walked in, and I remember what he said to me. He said, right, he says, everybody down around the ring. Back then, they had a stage in St Thomas's, and the ring were on the stage. And he says, right, all you guys stand at that side, you guys stand at that side. He says, right, he says, you're sparring with him, you're sparring with him. And he points to this kid that I was sparring with, a bit younger than me, a bit smaller. He had a flat nose, and I remember this kid who called Walter Clayton. I became good friends with Walter Clayton, but at the time I didn't know him. and he was junior ABA champion. I think he's about a year younger than me, so I was 16, he was 15.
And that was your first sparring?
Yeah, and I thought, as a kid, I always thought I could have a fight. Well, how wrong you were. I soon found that out. Yeah. So Brendan says, right, you get in with him. Yeah. He says, you can hit him, and he'll knock you back. Yeah. I'm thinking, I was taller than him, a little bit older than him. I'm thinking, is this bloke crazy or what? Yeah. He didn't tell me who we were. And even if he had told me it was Walter Clayton, it wouldn't have been. Anyway. Anyway, I just remember Walter Clayton absolutely stood me on my head. He absolutely. And I remember getting out, but I kind of like impressed with it. Yeah. It impressed me that a little skinny kid could do that to me. I was probably swinging all over and doing whatever.
Telegraphing.
Yeah, and he just moved away, pop. And he won't hit him in body.
Yeah, yeah.
Brendan said, you can hit him in his head, and he'll hit you in body. And I kept thinking, is he mad, this bloke?
Because there's also that thing where I've heard about Brendan, and he always that when the head sparring is that.
Yeah, he didn't do a lot of head sparring, no, but he did say that to me. He said, you can hit him in the head. Yeah. Which I never did.
No, because he knew you weren't going to catch him in the head. Yeah.
But like I said, after that, I kind of like, it registered some. I thought, that's clever, that, what he's just done to me. You know, a little kid like that. Yeah. Anyway, carried on training. Slowly but surely, all the friends that I joined with, they kind of like left or I'd stopped coming. And I stuck at it. And eventually, out of all the people who joined the gym, I was the only one who stayed there. Yeah. You know, my best mate, Darren Wright, Pete Bradford, all these kids, we all joined. But they all kind of like drifted away, kept coming. But I stuck at it. Yeah. I don't know why. Like I say, it was probably that time of people's lives when you leave school, people start going to the pub and find different things. And I found boxing. And for me, obviously, it's the best thing I've ever found. Yeah. And that was it.
Did you think it... So, I mean, I talked to a lot of people who's been sort of... I'm not saying you were a tearaway, but it seems to... And we knew this would happen, didn't we? Right. Yeah, that's your natural reaction when you get some movement behind you. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, I know a lot of people that's got problems with... Not problems, but issues with children. They seem to learn in that discipline box. It did it for my brother, to be honest.
It did me.
So do you think it helped you with that?
I think I was all right as a child. I was all right till I went to senior school. Yeah. And then when you go to senior school, you know, kids are getting attitudes, aren't they? And kind of like, I wasn't a very nice kid. Yeah. In fact, Brendan always used to say in his Irish accent, I was an horrible bastard. That's how he said. That was my Irish accent, by the way. Yeah. And looking back, probably were. Yeah. You know. But
like now you look back and you realise that, don't you?
Yeah, and that I think that's what helps me when kids come in my gym. Yeah. And I see kids and I think...
Yeah, because you've been through
I was one of them. I was one of them kids back then. We had a kid in gym this morning and he's definitely one of them. But, you know, taking my time with him, I'll bring him around slowly and fingers crossed, who knows.
So, I mean, obviously you excelled through it. Did you think that quite quickly you just naturally picked it up very quickly? Did Brendan see something and go, hang on a minute, look, Glyn, you've got something here, Glyn, and we need to...
No, he never said that. He never said... But what happened is, what you learn off each other. You know, you went to the gym, you saw the people doing things, and so you copied it. Yeah. And then a year after I'd been there, this kid arrived who... Changed everything. You know, I'd been there... I was there a year before Errol Bomber came. I was there a year before Errol came. Yeah. And in the gym at the time, there were a few pros like Mick Mills, Chris Walker, John Kelly, Lloyd... But then Errol came and everything, the whole landscape changed. It was crazy.
Can you remember the first time you walked in gym?
Yeah, I can. I'll tell you why I can. Because I remember seeing Errol box at the Aquarius. And he was boxing in Chesterfield. Yeah, yeah. He went boxing for Brendan then. Yeah. I just happened to be there watching probably some kids from our gym. Yeah. And I see this kid come out, and a black kid, he had a white vest on, and he had a badge here, like an England badge, and a pair of velvet shorts. I know, velvet shorts, blue velvet shorts, blue and white Adidas boots.
This must have been late 70s?
76, 75, that era. Yeah. And I remember seeing him and thinking, who's this kid think he is? You know, look at him. Anyway, he boxed, and he was unbelievable. He was special back then as a kid. He'd have been about 16, 17 then.
Defensive skills were they all?
Yeah, his hands were down, you know. Everybody were boxing with their hands up. Yeah, yeah. And then nobody ever, you know, Brendan never taught us to box with his hands down. Yeah. You know, you had your hands up, your elbows in, typical. And then I remember seeing Errol at the Aquarius nightclub. Yeah. So when he walked in gym, I thought, that's that kid I was saw in Chesterfield. So I remember seeing him. And then after that, rest is history. You know, Errol came along, he won the ABAs, beat Delroy Parks, for the ABA title. And then slowly but surely, everybody started trying to be Errol Graham. We all had his hands down, even me, and obviously look at my face, it didn't work for me. But we all wanted to be Errol Graham, hands down, and people are still doing it now, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, it has become widely known as the Brendan Ingle style of boxing.
Yeah.
But until Errol came, like I said,
Well,
Nick Mills were like this.
Yeah, he saw what Errol brought, and then he tweaked it.
And he's mastered it, and everybody's doing it. Yeah, but it don't work for everybody.
No,
it don't. It didn't work for me.
Do you think that we're all about his footwork?
Not just his footwork. Errol always had his hands down here. You know, he was very agile, and Brendan kind of like, you know, with footwork, he's big on footwork, which
Naz were a little bit like that though, weren't you?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I think when I'm exactly the same age as Bomber. Yeah. When we were like 20.
How old are you now, by the way?
Why are you asking that?
No, because you told me and I didn't believe you. I didn't believe you though. No, you look good. I'm not coming on to you, Glyn, here.
I should have.
I'm not fucking that way. God, but what
I can still do a bit, by the way. I'm that old. Believe it or not, I was 60 last week. No, same as Bomber. We were both born in 1959. Yeah. We're both 60-year-old. Yeah. And it's gone like that. Yeah. And like I said, I've known Errol since we were 16 years old, so it's a lifetime. And always, I owe him so much. And so does a lot of more people in this town. A lot of people owe Errol Graham a lot. And I don't mean financially. I mean, you know. Yeah. So I think when we were about 20, Naz would have been, I don't know, 7 or something. So nobody even knew Naz, but he was just a little kid in the gym. Yeah. But as we came through, I stayed there from 16 till I was 33. Yeah. You know, I think Errol left and went back. I had a spell where I retired for 2 years. Well, I didn't retire. I packed in. Right. What happened is I packed in.
Why would I just lost love for it?
No, I didn't lose the love. I would never train. I would no discipline.
Which is interesting. I know we're going off on this, but you said to me, which I've heard about you, but then when you said and I completely believe you, and I just thought, bloody hell, you didn't train. And then when I asked you that question, didn't I, about do you regret that now? When it was interesting what you said.
I don't particularly regret it because what happened then is what's making me what I am now. And if I'd have been different then, I won't be what I am now. Yeah. But part of me wishes I'd have been a bit more dedicated and a little bit more, because without being disrespectful to some of the kids I lost to, but I lost to some right mugs. Kids I should never have lost to. But
some of the fights I've seen you, and I thought,
what am I doing?
Again, you know what I mean?
And I used to drive Brendan up wall. Yeah, honestly, I used to drive him up wall
because he knew what you got.
Like I know now when I said to kids, have you been running? And they go, yeah, I'm running. I used to do to Brendan, been running this morning, Brendan, and you must have thought, what a complete tool. Yeah. But it's not until you get to 60-year-old that you look back and think, Brendan must have looked at me now like I'm looking at kids in my gym and thinking, you can't fool me, you know. So I do wish I'd have trained a bit harder, or been a bit more disciplined, dedicated. I might have achieved a lot more. Yeah.
But like you said, it's interesting what you said, because you said that to me, and then I thought, right, because I didn't think like that, and you went, right, but I won't be, because I've seen how you are now in your gym. Yeah. And like you say, I think if you'd have gone and been even more successful, even though you have been successful with your boxing career, I don't think you would be like you are now.
Today.
No, definitely.
I'm exactly the same. I agree with that. Yeah. Because, you know, I always said to the kids in the gym, they can't, everything they're doing, I know what they're doing and why they're doing it, and yes, they're doing it, or no, they're not. They can't fool me. There's a sign on our gym wall, and it says, I nicked it from America. I don't mean I nicked the sign. I don't do it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I took it and printed it up. It says, no fighter in this gym can fool me with excuses. I used them all myself when I was boxing. Yeah, which you did, I did. Yeah. And I used to think Brendan believed me. And
where did you see that quote then?
I think I saw it in a gym in New Jersey. Okay. And so I nicked the quote, had it printed up, it's on our door in the gym. And it's right, you can't fool me with anything, because I've been there, seen it, got the t-shirt, done it,
But I think though, like you're talking about that with you and everything, like I've seen, if you go down to your gym is amazing, because it's like a museum.
Yeah, the walls are. If you look on the walls, there's pictures from back there. Yeah, there's pictures of everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just boxing pictures. We've got pictures of what's that Sheffield group, Def Leppard. We've got we've got so much stuff there other than boxing. Yeah. And that's how I wanted it. And the reason I wanted it like that, because when I was boxing, I went to America. I think I was 19. Me and a kid called Neil Jordan went to New York and went around all these gyms.
Is that first place you went to?
First time I ever went to New York, me and Neil Jordan. Yeah. And I remember seeing all these pictures on these gym walls. I remember seeing this picture. There was a gym in Times Square and went in there to do a poster, and it were Rocky Graziano versus Tony Zale, and all like that. Oh, and
Manchester Square Garden?
I don't know if I can't remember where it were at.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yankee Stadium, Madison Square Gardens. But I just remember seeing the picture, and I'm thinking, bloody hell, look at that. And that must have been I don't know, might have been 40s.
Yeah.
And there were posters everywhere. So I spent half the time looking around the gym at the pictures on the wall of fighters past them. And I thought, I want my gym to be like that.
Yeah.
So what's happened is over the years I've collected things,
memorabilia.
stick them on the wall, and now we've got no space left. So
well, like you've got, like what we interested when I looked on your walls, you've got all sorts of stuff, but then you got that Manuel Stewart Cronk gym, and you said to me, I can't even remember where I got them. I got that and where.
I remember I got it in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
But like I said, most of Cronk t-shirts are always yellow with red letters.
Because that's what Emmanuel Stewart's always got. When he's on pads with Lennox, it's always that yellow one, isn't it?
I can't remember. But I thought, you know what, get it framed like I do, get it on the wall, and then other people can see it. And that's why I wanted my gym to be like that.
So on your gym wall, if you could take Desert Island and you had to take one bit of memorabilia off that wall, what would it be? So, that's a good one. Is it the picture of you with lads in Brendan's black and white one? Is it that one? Or is it something more... Is it more personal to you or something...
That's personal to me, that picture.
Yes.
I remember that picture. What happened with Brendan, I'd been training probably about 2 years, again, 70s. And at the time, you couldn't have pros and amateurs training together. Yeah. They didn't allow it.
I said that's weird, isn't it?
Well, back when we were kids, it was just a no-no.
What, they couldn't have them in the same gym? Or
not supposed to train
because you like separate them now, don't you, in sessions?
Yeah. So back then, when Brendan was doing it, you weren't supposed to do it, end of. So anyway, what happened is Brendan was becoming really successful. You know, with Bomber won the ABAs. Yeah. And then they found out that they were training pros and amateurs at the same time. So whoever got their heads together and decided to ban Brendan. Right. So I remember sitting in change rooms and Brendan came over from his house was across the road. He came over and told us what happened. We were upset. We were all upset. Because we're like, Brendan, they banned him. So anyway, they banned him from the amateurs. Yeah. It was the biggest mistake they ever made, because by banning him, what did he do? He turned pro. Yeah. So when he turned pro, any fighters who were in the gym who were decent enough, we all turned pro along with him. Yeah. So Bomber got money. He turned pro, but he had his trainer's license. Then he got somebody called Tony McKenna and Mick Cowan to take out a promoter's license. Right. Bomber, they were promoting Bomber. We fought on the undercard to Bomber in Sheffield. I fought on so many undercards to Bomber at City Hall mainly. Yeah. And them nights were occasions.
Did you box on the Bramall Lane one before?
No, I didn't box on that one, no.
Yeah. I was supposed to go to that.
Yeah, when he boxed Linda Loams. Yeah. And again, Linda Loams went on to become world champion. Yeah. And Bomber never did.
I know.
And Bomber...
I mean, I know we're talking about Bomber at the moment, but how many autobiographies I've read that they've said, like Eubanks and Ben said, he was the one we didn't want to fight.
Away from him. Eubanks publicly says it, doesn't he? He'll say, I would never... I'm not saying, people often say to me, do you think Bomber would beat him or would Bomber beat him? Do you think... me personally, Bomber as a light middleweight was special. He was special. Don't forget, I've known Errol all my life. I've seen him. I've seen everything he did on boxing his undercards, seen what he did. And as a light middleweight, he was special. As a middleweight, he was special. I'm not saying he'd have beat your Marvin Aglers or your Tommy Earns, but he'd have given him some right trouble.
Yeah, but you look at the fights where he were involved in. He boxed their head off, didn't he? Just couldn't...
Listen, everybody always rates Mike McCallum as a all-time great.
And
look what Bomber did with him. You know, but Bomber's style weren't particularly television style, because he was like elusive. Whereas Nigel Ben, Crash Bang Wallop, it was good TV, weren't it?
Everyone wants to see a knockout, don't they?
Yeah,
but they talk about Bomber's but if you look at his record, what's the stoppage rate?
Everybody says, I've heard people say Bomber couldn't punch.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
No,
if you look at his record, some of the people he stopped and knocked out, I'm telling you, he can punch.
You were in corner for him for that Vinny Panzera fight, weren't you?
No, what happened is, when he made his comeback, what happened is I retired, and then Bomber had a fallout with Brendan. So he decided to build his own gym in Wicker.
Oh, that was it.
So then he asked me would I help train him. So I weren't doing nothing. So I said, and I were retired. So I started training him, and it's funny this. So he sets his gym up in Wicker, I got the urge back again because I was helping him in the gym. I got the urge back to want to box again.
Yeah. Because you're gonna. It's like we talked to him in Kyle, who's camera guy, and we said because he likes boxing and I've done a bit. You know, when we come back in your gym, it's like
you get the urge. Well, that's how I work. I'd retired for 2 years. Done as far as I was concerned. I was done. So what happened is Bomber builds this gym at Wicker, starts training, gets a trainer in from Panama because he was Barney Eastwood, whatever.
Yeah,
anyway, it didn't all work out. So what happened is Bomber starts training back at Brendan's, and we're all at Wicker in Bomber's gym. Everybody who helped him set the gym up, we're in the gym, and Bomber's back at Brendan's. So anyway,
so why did he go back there then?
Because what happened is he started training this guy from, I think he was Panama, Frederick, but I think his name was Frederick Plummer or something. But Barney Eastwood got him, and he weren't.
He got involved, Barney.
So Bomber went back to Brendan's. The gym soon folded up.
Yeah.
And he said to me, look, why didn't you come back to Brendan's? So I had to go back to Brendan's with tail between legs, saying, I'm sorry, Brendan, can I come back? You do.
Yeah.
Welcome me back. And I stayed there till I was 33.
Yeah.
But like I said, with Bomber, when he made his comeback against a kid called Terry Ford, I watched it, and after watching it, I thought, he beat Terry Ford, who were a blown up light middleweight, but it weren't the Herald that we all knew. No. It weren't. And so I actually said to him, Herald, look, I went up to his house next day and said, Herald, it's not there. Think about calling it.
So what did you think weren't there then? I mean,
everything.
It's personal.
Everything. Timing, coordinate, everything. Nothing.
No.
It just weren't.
And how old were them, would you think? Remember?
Yeah, it might have been.
Because obviously, Graham were middleweight, weren't he?
I think he was over 30.
Because obviously middleweights mature a little bit older than your lighter weights, don't they? The heavyweights a bit more. So when you're right on that border,
I think he came back as a super middleweight, a middleweight, super middleweight.
Yeah.
But after watching him box Terry Ford, who weren't nothing special.
No.
I thought, but
he made hard work.
Yeah, he made hard work. He should have.
For him.
A few years ago, Harold would have got rid of him quick. Yeah. But anyway, so I said to him, Harold, look, I'm not happy about your boxing. Why don't you think about retiring? Help me train kids.
But that says a lot about you, though, when you can, because a lot of people now, they won't say that to the mate one day,
no,
because they're thinking it, entourage and all, party
money,
time,
money.
But that says a lot about you.
So what happened? I went up to his house, and I must admit, I take my hat off to him. He says, no, he said, I want to carry on.
Yeah.
And I went, well, Harold, I said, you know what? I can't be involved in this.
Yeah.
I says, but if you want to train at gym, you can train at gym. So I still trained him, but I didn't go in the corner with him. So what happened is he had a guy called Dean Powell who went in his corner. So I still trained him, but I didn't go in the corner. I thought, I've got to be true to myself. I can't say, you want to finish, but you know what, I'll go in your corner and take some money off you. I didn't. So Dean Powell went in his corner. Then it got really complicated. What happened is I was training Clinton Woods and Bomber at the same time.
Yeah, I remember.
So
this is Brewer fighting it.
Yeah.
Charles Brewer.
So Bomber got a title fight. He beat Vinny Pazienza, beat Chris Johnson. I think he beat somebody else.
I remember watching that Vinny Pazienza fight.
Bomber stood him on his head, didn't he?
He did.
And Vinny Pazienza
he was a tough kid, weren't he?
Just tough. But Bomber turned him inside.
Yeah, he did. He boxed well
so
that night, didn't he?
What happened is, even though I was still training him, Dean Powell was in his corner.
Yeah.
And I thought, I can't just jump in for glory. But anyway, what happened is, Clinton got a fight in Hull against David Story for Commonwealth title.
And Story was a good fighter.
And Story was a good fighter. And Bomber got a world title fight against Charles Brewer in Atlantic City, but training in Miami Beach on the undercard to Lennox Lewis and Shannon Briggs. Yeah. So my choice was this. Yeah. Do I go with Clinton to Hull? Or do I go with Bomber?
No disrespect to Clinton.
No disrespect.
Clinton might be watching this, and Clinton's had a great career, doing very well.
After that, he's another guy who a lot to Clinton Woods.
Yeah, definitely.
So my choice were, do I go with Clinton or to Commonwealth title against David Story, or do I go with Bomber? And this is the decision I made, and this is why I made it. Yeah. Because I knew that Clinton, if he'd have lost, he was young enough to come back again. Yeah. Whereas I knew that this with Bomber, that was Bomber's last chance. Yeah, definitely. I knew if he lost this, he would come 40-year-old. So I said, look, I'm gonna go with Bomber. So I went with Bomber. We trained in Miami Beach for.
How long for?
Well, I only went for about a week, 10 days, because what happened is I had a pro show in Sheffield that I was promoting when the fight came up. So I said to one of the young kids in the gym, we were only about 19, I said, you're going to go with Bomber to Miami Beach and just keep him company, go running with him, whatever. Yeah. I said, Lennox Lewis is going to be there and it's going to be late. So his kid's name's Regan. So I sends Regan. Yeah, so I sends Regan. And I remember one night I was in the house and my phone rang And it was Regan, he was right upset. He said, I want to come home. I went, you want to come home? You're in Miami Beach.
Miami Beach.
You're training at the same gym as Lennox Lewis and Bomber, and you want to come home? I said, why? He went, because Bomber's bullying me. He won't even let me have salt and vinegar on me chips. I'm like...
Were you fighting?
No.
No.
Regan was just there to keep him company.
Right, okay.
But Bomber were... Because
what
Bomber,
were eating chips in Miami Beach for?
I don't know. But it was just...
You should have been eating stone crab.
I think Errol was just bullying him, saying, you're not having chips, I'm not having them, so you're not having them.
Right, yeah.
So Regan rang up and said, I want to come. Anyway, when I got out, once I got there, it was all right.
Yeah.
Like I say, a week up to it, all
Did Bomber make weight easy?
Bomber did everything easy. Listen, Bomber, he was an unbelievable pro, one of the best pros I've ever trained.
Yeah.
And like I said, to train Bomber on the undercard to Lennox Lewis.
Oh, yeah. So it was Shannon Briggs fight?
Shannon Briggs fight, yeah.
Which was funny because I listened to a podcast other week with Shannon Briggs on Joe Rogan.
All right.
And I'll tell you what, that fight was close.
Oh,
so. I mean, don't get me wrong, Lennox, he's the greatest ever for me.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, Briggs tested him.
Yeah, he did.
I think he tested him
some
like
shots,
Ray Mercer did.
He took some shots.
Remember Ray Mercer?
Ray Mercer was a good fighter as well.
Yeah.
Ray Mercer was a very good fighter.
He tested Lennox as well, didn't he?
But it was good for us. It was good for me, and I'll tell you why. Because we were training in this gym.
Yeah.
And they were Manny Stewart training Lennox Lewis,
I'd
me
love to
training
be just
Bomber,
being there, man.
and they were the press, and it was just great. And
Amazing.
you hang around these hotels,
Yeah.
and I used to just sit in a hotel, and you'd see people come in and go in, and I remember sitting there one day, and I saw George Foreman on didn't have a mobile phone. Yeah. George Foreman at a phone booth thing, and I'm like, that's George Foreman. So I thought I'll wait while he finishes. Yeah. And I've got the picture, and I'll go up and say, hi George, any chance for a picture? Yeah. So anyway, he's on the phone. As soon as he come off the phone, 4 little old ladies, poof. So I'm like, oh shit. Sugar, Anyway, I managed to have a chat with him and got my picture took with him. That's all I'm mad. But again, I owe Bomber so much because the experience that I gained while I was there, and the people that we saw, like I say, that gym. The night before training camp wrapped up, Lennox took everybody on a boat ride up Miami. We stopped at a restaurant. Had a good chat.
I mean, what a memory.
What a memory. I remember.
I'm really jealous.
I'll show you the picture. You asked Regan. We were on this boat, not a very big boat, and I'm sat with his mum. We pulled into this restaurant. And I remember sat there thinking, looking at Miami Beach.
Yeah, makes a reality check.
And I'm like, I'm sat in Miami Beach with heavyweight champion at world in a restaurant. He's paying for it. And it's like, Shea Green just seemed a long way away from where.
Yeah, exactly. And this was another question I'm going to ask you about the doors that boxing's open for you.
For me, it's unbelievable. Not just how can I put it? Not just boxing related, but other doors that you get open. That's what I said to the kids. You might not go on to be world champion. You might not be, undisputed champion. But boxing opens other doors, which enables you to do different things in your life. Like me, it
teaches that discipline and it teaches that confidence, isn't it? Which might come with anything in life.
So if you're going for a job and you're not a confident kid, you're not going to come across or do well. But what boxing does to you, it teaches you to act confident, and that's all you're doing. It's only an act. Yeah. You get in the ring. I think it was Muhammad Ali talking about Joe Frazier when he. One of these big fights, and he says, I'm glad they were looking in my eyes because if they looked down, my knees were knocking together. Right. That kind of thing. So it gives you that.
So that's what Ali said about Fraser?
I think it was Ali said. Yeah. And I remember thinking, you know what? It's an act. You get in that ring and you just act confident. You act like you're all right. When really, your back side's like that, your knees are knocking together, but you don't want to give that image off. So what you do, you give off this image that you're not bothered, that you're full of confidence and you job's on fire kind of thing. Yeah. But it's so wrong. It's not like that at all. So. Anyway, going back to Bomber, he got beat by Charles Brewer. Yeah.
So I remember that fight. So I remember watching it, and this is what's weird for me now talking to you. I remember watching it, and the calendar did a bit of a special on it, and you were interviewing on it. And I thought, that's that Glyn Rhodes there. Horrible. And now me and you sat here.
That's that Glyn Rhodes there, that horrible bastard.
No. And I thought, Glyn Rhodes, you know what I mean? And all that. And then, like you say, it's like me sat here talking to you and stuff,
It was mad. Calendar did a thing where they followed Bomber, and I remember we got up one morning and they'd hired a truck, and what they wanted to do is they'd put the bike down on the truck and a cameraman was laid in the back and they wanted to film Bomber running up Atlantic City Boardwalk. Right. So anyway, we set off, but only made it look good for camera. Bomber's running up. All of a sudden this bloke stops in the Jeep or whatever it was, like the 4-wheel drive thing, And it really hours in morning.
Yeah.
And this bloke says, you can't drive up Atlantic City boardwalk
Yeah.
unless you've got permission.
Right.
So we're like, permission off who?
Yeah, filming position.
So he says, no, and he was serious. He
Yeah.
says, no, you can't do it. So we turned off and they came back on and did it again anyway. On the way back, he got us again and he says, I'm telling you now,
last time.
if you don't get permission,
Yeah.
I'm like, permission off who?
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
like when you're making films and stuff, you have to get like licenses to film
Yeah.
and stuff. It's crazy, really.
So it was good. So I owe Errol so much for that. Just being around bomber. Oh, you got to remember, when I started training fighters, I was 34.
Yeah.
And what happened to me? I was 34 and Bomber propelled me from here to here. I went from 34 as a new trainer, new kid on block, to training Bomber Graham.
Yeah.
British middleweight champion, light middleweight, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Well, you were European as well, weren't you?
British, European, Commonwealth, light, middleweight, super middleweight.
Yeah.
So I went from here as a trainer to like here, training Bomber Graham. So I owe Errol Graham a lot for that. And I'll always be forever grateful for that.
So I want to talk about your gym now. So I've put this here.
Go on, that's it.
So this is Glyn's, obviously.
SBC
Let's get
unit.
it in proper here, love. So that's
Glyn's.
That's Glyn's life.
That is my life.
That's your life. So that has obviously brought this.
Exactly.
So how many people can say they've got one of these? I've never seen one of these
have you
before.
not?
No.
Well, they sell them in the market.
Cool. Can you tell the story about? Can you tell the story about what before that? What's just happened? So I said to you other day, Glenn, when we do a podcast, can you bring your medal, your MBE?
You mean that one what I just left on dashboard in my car? so I parked my car in multi-storey car park. I come out, I'm walking around here and I'm thinking a bit punchy like, so I'm thinking I forgot something. But I always think that. I always feel
that's
like
with boxing with hands, Dad.
Look, this is it. That's me trying to be Bomber Graham.
Boxing
I always
with hands,
feel like I forgot something. Anyway, I come out, I started walking, I thought, oh God, I've left that on the dashboard. So I thought, I can't very well leave that on the dashboard.
I love sets that move. This just shows you how much funding we've got for this podcast. Fuck all.
So I had to rush back to my car.
It's like prison cell blockades when they used to move in back room.
I was absolutely shitting myself because I thought, I've got that on dashboard.
Yeah.
And it actually says on it what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, oh,
exactly.
It needs some little smackhead walking past my car.
Yeah.
Window's going to go through and that's going to go missing. So
is that in focus, Kyle?
I went running back and luckily it was still there.
Yeah.
So that came all about by the gym, by the money we've raised for charities and the things we've done. I don't mean me. No. I mean, one of the things that I like, you see that unit, that's why we call our gym a unit, because we do everything together. You know, we support everybody. When we go for a run, we've been for a run this morning, nobody gets out in front, we help the weak guys, you know, so everybody stays together as a unit.
So does pros will run with everybody and whatever?
Everybody. Listen, anybody can come.
Yeah.
7:30 this morning, we meet on Dam Flask,
and
we'll go for an hour's run. Me and Matt are both absolutely knackered, so my knees are gone. His knees are gone. So once lads have set off, we walk round Dam and talk bollocks. And it takes us bang on an hour. Yeah. So we'll get back to the gym at 8:30, opens at 9 o'clock. So the gym, we are at that gym.
Are you in gym every day?
Every day, 7 days a week. That's my life. It's everything, you know.
Yeah.
You've got to be. You can't, you know, some gyms, it's hard because there's people up and down this country do what I do. But they have to go to work as well. And then they come home and then they run the boxing. And these are the type of people who need more recognition. Rather than these big so-called famous superstar trainers. It's easy to do it if you're training somebody who's already good. Yeah. But there's a lot of guys in this country who train kids who don't know the left foot from the right foot and take them right through. Now, to me, that's what a trainer is. You know, not just teaching them boxing, teaching them...
It's the life skills, and then when things are not quite going right, sitting down and talking to them.
Having a chat to them,
And then to me, if these high-profile ones are doing too much, how can you do that with fighters?
Listen, you know what, if somebody comes to you and says, look, I want you to train Sugar Ray Leonard, or I want you to train Muhammad Ali, or Anthony Joshua, anybody, you can do it. The job's been done by some amateur trainer years ago. He's done that. All you've got to do is...
The fundamentals, isn't it?
all you've got to do is tweak a few things, and so there's guys in this country that do what I do, day in, day out, never get no recognition. So big shout out to all them guys. Cause,
so tell us about, obviously, day MBE.
It was probably...
How many years ago now? 6 years?
6 years ago. Yeah. You know, we've all been scared and we've all done things...
Was that one of the proudest moments in your life, would you say? Top 5?
You have different moments in your life what you're proud of. You know, you're proud when your kids are born, and you're proud when, you know, my son's just...
I'm all right, I ain't got no kids. So
you know, well, you can buy mine off me if you want. In fact, you don't have to buy them, I'll give them you.
How much?
Free.
Are they expensive,
free.
though?
Yes, that's the problem.
I'm not bothered then.
You know, when my son graduated, when my daughter, she's doing... My kids have turned out good kids. So that makes you really proud.
Yeah.
You know, to think, bloody hell, you know, I went to university to watch my son graduate. They're proud moment because that's your blood, that's your
I know I'm interrupting
family.
you now, but
Go on.
that was funny all the week when I said, I don't know why, I just went, how many times have you been married, Glyn?
Oh, I tell this joke all the time.
Go on.
I've had 5 wives,
Yeah.
3 of my own. That's a joke, by the way.
I know you're not like that.
I'm...
But that's, you know me. I mean, I like your honesty because some people they just skate around. You just went.
Listen.
What is it? 4
No,
or 5?
I've had.
You like wedding cake then, or what?
The problem is, and again, this is what boxing does to you. Boxing makes a lot of wives widows.
Yeah.
Because you can be out every day a week.
Yeah.
You know, you meet.
Yeah, because if you're passionate like you are,
I'm passionate about it. Listen, I'm married. Listen,
you're married to Jim.
I've been married. I've had long-term relationships. I'm single again. I'm not single. I am single. But what happens is, with boxing, you never know where you're going to be. You never know when that phone's going to ring and when I'm going to be driving up country where I'm going to be, and it don't go well. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of women in this country who are boxing widows, shall we say?
Yeah.
Because they're married to men who are passionate about boxing, who take kids all over the country at the drop of a hat. And, you know, again, a big shout out to some of them women because it's hard trying to keep a relationship.
Like, it sounds daft, it's a bit like police.
Yeah.
You know, like detectives and stuff like that. It takes over the life, doesn't it? It's a passion. Because your job's your passion,
my job, it's not only my job. It's like it's my life. It's what I do. Imagine me not doing boxing.
Yeah.
I'd be right boring for. What am I going to do? I don't drink.
No.
So what am I going to do if I don't do boxing? What am I going to do? I don't know. So, like I said, there's a lot of widows, boxing widows in this country.
Yeah.
Who probably need a little bit of support. We've got one down at gym, Matt Morty's wife and Andy Manning's wife, Pat's wife, Sean's wife. You know, they put up with their husbands going out to shows week after week. We've got one out tomorrow. Yeah. A kid, Sean's going to, we've got a kid in championship tomorrow. Sean's going to, I think he's Manchester. You know, he's got 2 kids of his own, young kids. I think they're about 4 and 5, and he's taking somebody else's kid to a boxing show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's my passion. It's what I do, and I can't see me ever having a long-term relationship because I'm not willing to give. Yeah. Probably a little bit selfish.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to give up this. Yeah. To do that.
I think because you've done it you're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
You've done it all your life, ain't it? It's hard to change, isn't it?
And I understand it's hard for a...
It's like your drug in a way, isn't
it is. That's what it is. Yeah. It's hard for a wife, girlfriend, whatever you want to call it, to fit into that because, like I say, you go out, your phone never stops ringing. You know, it's just boxing. So I understand that. Yeah. So, but hey, listen.
So, completely going off what we've just been saying about. Well, let's talk about what happened with Scott. Tell us about Scott. Obviously, this is another side to it.
Yeah, this is the side that people don't actually understand. And again, I'll just give people a bit of background. Yeah. I boxed on the undercard when Michael Watson boxed Eubanks and Watson got done, injured. So that
horrendous.
That upset me a little bit.
Yeah, I remember watching that live.
That was down London, White Hart Lane. Great to box on the bill. Yeah, but it were overshadowed by what happened to Michael.
So were you watching the fight close in?
Yeah, well, we were there. Yeah, I boxed a kid called Eamon Loughran who went on to be world champion and lost on points. Yeah, you know, you get ready, you quickly get ready to come out and watch the main event. Yeah, you've got not a ringside seat, but because you box and you're there. Yeah. So I remember watching that. That was the first one. Second, that was the first tragedy. You know, you always think about boxing, and you know, you don't dwell on it. But before you go out, you might sit there and say a little prayer and say to God, I hope I'm going to be all right when I come out. But you don't think it's ever going to happen. And then I trained a kid called Richie Wenton. First time I trained anybody to box for a British title, and we were the away team. We were at York Hall, Bethnal Green, box kid called Bradley Stone. Richie won, first kid I've ever trained to box for a British title, got the Lonsdale belt. A couple of days later, Bradley Stone passed away through his injuries. Yeah. That were hard.
Yeah.
Then that really set me back. That, you know, I knew.
Yeah, because you were involved even more.
Yeah, I'd just become a new trainer.
Yeah.
And you know,
Which is a big thing to deal with, a new trainer, isn't
I'd
it?
just become a new trainer, and I've won the British title with a kid. Richie won the title, and then the kid dies, so it set me back really a lot of that. And then shortly after that, I trained a kid called Serge Ambomo, who boxed Jerome Wilson in Sheffield. Jerome got injured. So again, you ask yourself questions. You know, we know it's a dangerous game, and that's why you need to train. You need to be trained by people who know what they're doing. And then obviously Scott, one of the nicest kids you could ever wish to meet, light heavyweight.
Name,
Scott Westgarth.
Yeah.
His dad were a good fighter. His dad were an heavyweight.
And he came into your gym from day one, didn't he?
He started. Everything Scott did, he was good at.
Right.
I've seen
Just
him,
natural athlete.
I've seen him on skis, you know, when they go down them slopes and do them flips.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that Scott?
Yeah.
He was good at everything. So he got involved in boxing in Sheffield, and I think he was doing unlicensed to start with.
Yeah.
And then obviously,
Which is even more dangerous.
Yeah. Because of the medicals that they don't have, some of them.
Yeah.
And then he obviously came to my gym because somebody must have said to him, you know, why are you wasting your time doing this? Why not do it properly? So he came to my gym, and he was a lovely kid. He was funny. He was dry.
Yeah.
Humour. He was a good kid to have in
Likeable kid. Yeah.
Listen, I've had some horrible people in my gym. Scott's one of the nicest people that's ever come through.
Yeah.
And a part of the unit, part of us.
Yeah.
He was a chef.
Right. Okay.
He was a nutritionist. He was a fitness fanatic.
So a complete pro in a way.
Everything, you know, and a good pro. And I'll tell you why I say a good pro. We got a phone call because we were from Newcastle.
Right.
You know, we were in a massive ticket seller down here, so we
Yeah.
were never on local shows as such. So we had to travel. You know, when the phone rang, you had to go. Went to Bristol 3 times as the opponent,
Right.
and 3 times we came back victorious.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you imagine
That
how
didn't
long,
go down well.
imagine no, that didn't go down very well.
No.
Imagine how far it is to Bristol driving. It's a long drive, but when you win
Yeah.
and pull it off,
Yeah.
coming back
It's
it's
a
not
short
so.
journey,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's how good a pro Scott was. So anyway, he ended up boxing a kid called Dex Spellman for title, 10-rounder. He'd done it again. He'd done everything right. He's checked weights with the board, everything. He was in good shape, everything. He won the fight, 10 rounds. Tough fight, but you're going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a tough fight because it's a title fight.
Yeah.
People have said after the fight, something weren't right. And he started complaining about pains in the back of his neck once we got back in changing rooms. You know, a bit wobbly climbing out of the ring, which you're going to be after a 10 round.
Yeah.
We get in changing rooms and they were all right.
Were it a type of fight where they got?
No, it weren't a brutal time.
No,
it weren't crash bang wallop. No, you were a boxer, Scott. You were a good boxer.
Yeah.
And
What,
our
back foot.
our plan were to box Deck all night.
Because when he come forward.
Deck comes forward. He's a strong fighter,
Yeah.
unbeaten Deck at times.
Yeah.
So our plan all through training camp were box, just box them more, which he did to a T. Yeah. He won the fight. We got back in the changing rooms, and he started complaining about his pain in the back of his neck, which is not. I've been there before when fighters have complained about headaches and you've just done 10 rounds, so you're going to be a bit. Yeah. So anyway, he started feeling a bit sick. He said, I feel a bit sick, which is a bad sign when boxing. Yeah. So anyway, the doctors came in, checked him, did a little bit of. I'll not go into that because it's still going on. We've got to go to coroner's court in February or whatever, but I'll not go on to that bit.
Yeah,
Anyway, the doctors told him to go to hospital. So the paramedics came in with a stretcher, and he said, "This is how all right you were." He says, I don't want to go on a stretcher." He said, "I'll walk out to ambulance." And the paramedic said, "No, you've got to go on the paramedic." And he went, "No," he says, "all my fans are out there." He said, "I don't want to be on a stretcher. I'll walk." And they went, "No, you've got to get on." Anyway, puts him on the stretcher. We makes his way to the ambulance, which was just outside Doncaster Dome. And again, a few months before, when Sam Sheedy had boxed Liam Cameron, it was the same scenario. We got in the ambulance, we went to the hospital, we stayed there a few hours, they checked him out, and went home. And I'm thinking to myself,
it's
going to be the same old. Couldn't be more wrong. We get in the ambulance, they said, who wants to go with him? And I got my training gear on. So I said, well, I'm his manager and trainer. His dad and his girlfriend, his fans would. I said, he'll be all right. Yeah. So I got in the ambulance. And again, I thought, my bag's in the changing rooms, my phone, my car keys. I'm thinking, what's going on? So I says to the ambulance driver, you know, he says, we're going to transfer him. I said, will I be able to go? He says, oh no, he says, because it's going to be a different ambulance.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, well, how am I going to get home?
Yeah.
I didn't know nobody's phone number to
No.
ring. Anyway, luckily somebody. Anyway, once we got in the ambulance, that's when shit hit fan. I don't know what happened. Listen, doctors tried to explain to me. It was horrendous. Yeah. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah. Well, it's going to always. It's that memories, isn't it, or everything out and all that.
It's not so much that it is that, but you've got to remember this. 1 minute you're in the changing rooms, your guy's just had his hand lifted to tell you that he's the champion. Yeah. And then a short time after, you're in an ambulance looking at your mate.
Yeah. Because he is your mate, isn't he?
He's more than my mate. He was more than my mate. I love the kid to bits. Yeah. And I'm not going to go into what happened in the ambulance because that's. Yeah. But it was horrendous. Yeah. And there were a time, for a long time after that, I thought, I need to see somebody me. Yeah. Because you can't unsee something, can you? No. And you know, like this is what I try and get across to a lot of people. If you've got something wrong with your leg or you break your arm, you go to hospital and your doctor see. But if you've got something wrong in your head, there's a stigma about people going and getting looked
mental
at.
health.
And
males especially as well.
And especially in our game. Yeah. You know, it's a macho sport. You know,
testosterone.
It were horrible. So what I saw in the ambulance, I couldn't get. No. I couldn't not see it. No. It was horrible. It was worse. Honestly, it's the worst thing I've ever seen. Yeah. And don't forget, this is a kid that you love to bits. He's a great kid anyway. Yeah. So we get to the hospital. Again, I can't tell you what happened there because that's probably personal. Not personal.
It's still ongoing.
It's still ongoing. Yeah. Somebody's, somebody's done something wrong. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. Scott got transferred from Doncaster to the Hallamshire, which apparently is where we should have gone initially straight away. But anyway, that's not my... Yeah. So we get to the hospital. When we got to hospital, there was a doctor there and he said to us, I do these operations all the time, so you kind of like put your mind at rest. I remember he said to us, he says, if you bang your hand on a table like that, he says, you don't know how much it's going to swell or what damage it's going to do. He says, it's not until... So I thought, well, that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah. So he says, what'll happen is, stay here. Somebody will come and tell you. I'm struggling with this, mate. Yeah. He says, somebody will come and tell you what's going on.
What's happening?
And nobody ever did.
No.
So we're all sat there watching bobsleighing of all things. Anyway, so...
Because nobody's going to tell you, you probably think, it's all right.
And somebody actually said they will come and tell you, but nobody did. No. And it got to early hours of the morning, and then... This doctor came and he just said, look, which is, you can't even...
So after that then, did it put you off boxing?
It did, It put me off a lot, yeah. Because I got to gym a couple of days after, we didn't open gym, and there were flowers and pictures, and it reminded me of going to Ali's. There were flowers outside gym, people had brought pictures. And I thought to myself, how can I go in a gym and train young kids knowing, train
what you've
parents,
just seen.
I'm training your kid, but knowing that this could happen again in a few years' time with somebody else's child, and I found it really hard to go back to gym, and then I found it hard to walk in gym because people had brought pictures of Scott Air, and every time I walked in gym, it was there.
Did you? I mean, obviously, I know you weren't in the ring with him. But did you blame yourself a little bit at first, or what? Did you?
No, because I didn't blame myself, and I don't think there was anything to blame. Because he trained hard.
Yeah,
he did his weight.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't skip anything, did you?
Skip nothing. Did his check weights. He trained hard. His sparring went brilliant. And this is what I'm saying to people: if this can happen to somebody who's done everything spot on, right? His weight his dad said to me, he says, you go to his house and you open his cupboard and there's protein and he says, you open he says there's all that. Trained hard, he was a chef at Royal Vic Hotel, so he did everything spot on.
By the book and
so, you look back and you think, well, if I could look back and you know what, maybe he didn't train hard enough, maybe he should have done a bit more road work, but no. I can't do that, and it still happens.
It's just an accident.
It's an accident, and it's sad to say it probably happened again. Yeah, because boxing's dangerous.
Yeah.
But anyway, I did for a long time struggle to go back in gym and train kids, knowing that this could happen. So I'm not saying.
But you said to me, which were interesting, all the way Scott was.
Yeah.
He were. You know what I mean? You know
We've
what I'm
got
saying
a
with
poster
that,
in our gym, a banner, and
Yeah.
we put it up there, and that's going to stay up there forever. And it's got a picture of Scott with his hand being raised,
Yeah.
deck into the corner. And after Scott had boxed, he said this quote, and he says, "I do it because I love it.
Yeah.
Win, lose or draw,
Yeah.
I just do it because I love it." And I
Yes.
thought, you know what? And so
Yeah.
that's why we've got that on that banner.
Yeah.
So stays up there.
That says a lot about him. Then,
Yeah,
didn't
as
it?
his character.
He was there for.
Yeah.
For. He loved it.
He didn't think he was Sugar Ray Leonard.
No.
He didn't think he was no superstar.
No.
He was a great fighter.
Yeah.
Honestly, were.
Yeah.
But he did it because he loved it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's hard. It's trying to explain to people what this game, what is it? What that draws you in?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it.
Oh, like I say,
So-
testosterone and things like that. Sometimes it's just we've naturally got that instinct a little bit to. Do you know what I mean?
It's the game. I've never known a game like it. It's unbelievable. But anyway, listen. Hey, that poster will stay up there forever.
Yeah.
Scotty. Hopefully there'll be some closure on it in February.
Yeah.
When we go to
it's
wherever,
horrendous, isn't it? I
and
mean,
let's see what
But
happens.
what we're interested in, off talking about similar sort of thing, I remember when we talked about it in gym, and they said, "Here, look at this over here. Tell us about that sheet that you've got with it to do with the different sports and stuff."
Well, I put that up after Scotty died because, you know, one or two parents stopped bringing the kids.
Yeah,
I saw a parent in B&Q and I said, "Why aren't lads being trained?" She said, "Oh, after what happened to Scott." And I thought, so I downloaded this sheet off some website or something. Injuries over the last 20 years in sport.
Yeah.
And boxing's nowhere. It's not even on, it's not even on there. But it seems when anybody gets injured boxing, it's a bigger.
It's like somebody said to me this morning. We're on about it because we were going to be talking about this, and he says every time something happens to a fighter, which is very not often, it makes a big thing because it's the blows. But like you said, there's other sports, isn't there?
On that list I've got up in the gym, boxing's not even on it, and I put that in there to show the parents, just to say, look, just because your kid comes training, don't mean he's going to grow up like, you know, I'm not. Hey, listen, I had 65 fights. I'm sure I've got some damage up there. It's like people who smoke. You can't have. I had 30 amateur fights and 65 pro fights. Yeah. I can't expect.
That's a lot of pro
That's
fights.
a lot of fights.
Yeah.
I can't expect to not have some brain damage.
Yeah.
I know I've got brain damage. Right. But I won't change anything. You know, like I said, people smoke and people climb mountains and hang glide, and it's dangerous. I know boxing is dangerous. And if you tell me today that, you know, I'm going to be punching, I won't change a thing.
No.
Mate. Listen, I won't change.
So
a thing.
what's on the list? I can't remember now. What's top of the list then in sports? Can you remember?
Oh, I can't remember. Can you?
No. That's what I'm saying. It's not really a popular sport, probably.
I can't remember. I do not remember.
I think if I remember, it was something like it weren't. Like,
I should know because I walk
Yeah.
past it every day.
Yeah.
But no, boxing's way
I'll have
down
to
the
find
list.
that out.
Yeah.
So I mean, So we've got right. So I thought about this. I've wanted to do this with other people, right? And because I know me boxing, I ain't got no list, but I'm gonna say certain fighters' names.
Go on.
And I want you to be honest. The first thing that comes into your head, you've seen it
Go
done
on,
before,
then.
haven't you?
Fire away.
So I'll say a fighter's name, and I want you, because I know you don't hold back.
Am I allowed to say shithouse?
You'll not say whatever you want, right? But if you say something interesting, I might have a conversation about it.
All
But
right.
then I'll go to another one.
Okay.
Right,
Fire
so
away.
we'll go look at these. This makes it easy, but I know what I'm going to ask
All
you.
right.
Roy Jones Jr.
Great fighter in the era
Yeah.
that he was in.
Yeah.
You know, if he'd have been around in the 30s and 40s, he'd have still competed, but not as great as some of them guys in 30s and 40s, 50s.
Yeah. Obviously, we know about what you think about Ali.
God, yeah.
Tyson.
Again, great fighter.
Did you ever meet him?
You not actually met him. Been at
Round
events where he's done after dinner speaking things. Yeah, went to Nottingham. Great fighter.
Yeah.
But there's no way some people actually believe that he'd have beat Muhammad Ali. There's no way that Mike Tyson would have beat Muhammad Ali.
Listen,
ever,
I
ever.
said from day one Lennox had schooled him with jab.
Yeah.
And he did. I know Tyson would.
We went to that fight in
Yeah.
Memphis. We
Did
went
you
to
go?
that fight,
Nice.
in Memphis.
Oh God, I won
But
loads of money on that fight.
You've got to remember Tyson was shot by
Yeah,
them.
he were.
They were
He
well
were.
shot by
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. But I just thought Lennox's style were all wrong for him because if you look at Bones Custer Smith, what he did to Tyson, people like that, Lennox were a lot better than they were, weren't they? And he leant on him.
Think about this. everybody who stuck with Tyson and weren't intimidated and bullied beat him. And you can name them. Buster Douglas, Holyfield.
Yeah.
If he could intimidate and bully you.
Well, yeah, because psychologically he won't fight before fight started.
But anybody who stuck with him, name them all, right down to English kid, they all beat him.
Yeah.
That's not to say he weren't a great fighter.
We got a good job. What's his name? Oh,
go on.
Good jab. Coloured lad, but black guy. Anyway,
you
know what I mean.
Next
one. Holyfield,
good fighter.
Yeah.
I think he's bearing in mind what he moved up from.
Yeah, exactly.
He moved up
From
weight
light
to
heavy,
do what he did. Yeah, great fighter.
He was the first one that started training with weights as well a bit more.
Good fighter.
How do you think to that? And I was like,
I'm not a big fan of it.
No.
I'm a boxing fan, me, and I always said to people,
old school.
Yeah, old school. Listen, you look at all these fighters, your Iglers, your Durans, look at what they did. Yeah. You can't reinvent the wheel. No. I'm not. The only thing that's changed for me in boxing that makes a big difference is nutrition. Nutrition. It's changed, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm not a big fan of weights.
No. Right, Clinton Woods.
Clinton Woods.
Looking.
We are looking. Great fighter.
So Clinton Woods won world title.
Yeah. Again, I owe Clinton Woods so much because I've got a great story for me and Clinton.
Go on then.
I trained Clinton when he boxed. His first fight he had was at a place called Pine Grove Country Club.
Yeah, there were a lot of fights there, weren't there?
Sheffield, when he was coming through.
Yeah.
I trained him for a couple of fights
Did
there.
Dennis started the
Dennis and
fights,
Pete Heyman.
Right.
Started
Dennis
promoting great small old venue.
Yeah.
So Clinton came and trained with us then, and I trained him for a couple of fights at the Pine Grove. Won the area title against Darren Littlewood, who were Brendan's fighter.
Right. Okay.
So I'm in one corner, Brendan's fighter's in the other corner. That was good.
Yeah.
And that was my first.
Anyway, you're going up against Brendan as well,
weren't you? Exactly. Brendan's fighter.
Yeah.
My old trainer.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I ever trained Clinton for a title fight.
Yeah.
Then years passed. Trained him in between for the Mark Baker fight on the undercard to Bomber and Vinny Pazienza. Yeah. And then I was fortunate enough to train him for his last fight in Florida against Antonio Tarver. No, not Tarver. Tavares Cloud.
Oh, yeah, that was
again. So I look at it and I think, hang on, Pine Grove Country Club.
Did you train him for Tarver?
No, I went over, but I did his hands.
Right.
But he was trained by some other fella.
Yeah.
Anyway, right.
Anyway, yeah.
So
there's a story
I just did his hands that night.
That's for podcast
That's
two.
for podcast two, yeah. Podcast 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
So anyway, luckily I trained him for his last fight against Tavares Cloud for his world title fight. And again, I owe Clinton so much for allowing me to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
because it gives you that exposure as well, doesn't it?
Exactly.
On TV,
again,
you know,
it was on ESPN television, Miami.
Yeah.
So again, it was brilliant, and I owe Clinton a lot for that.
Yeah.
So I've got plenty of time for Clinton Woods.
Chris Eubank Senior.
Next.
That says enough.
Nigel
Benn.
I'm going to say next again. I'll tell you why off camera.
Okay.
Next.
I'm not going to say that name because I'm going to get the same reaction at the other two. We'll go back to him. Right. Chris Eubank Jr.
I think he's a good fighter. Yeah. He's got a lot of pressure on him because of his dad and because of the name.
Yeah.
And he's expected to live up to the name, but he's a good fighter. He is a good fighter. I hope he does well. I do like him. I like him a lot better than his dad.
I do. I think he gets a lot of bad press because
of his dad.
Yeah.
He's not. If you take away the name.
Yeah.
Eubanks. Yeah. Look at him. He's not a bad kid and he's not a bad fighter. He comes across well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So wish him well.
Yeah. Henry Cooper.
I like Henry Cooper. Henry Cooper.
When it used to do
you splash it all over Henry. I like Henry Cooper. And the reason I like Henry Cooper, as I said when we first started, I remember watching Henry Cooper while I was in the house when Henry Cooper boxed Cassius Clay.
Yeah.
So it reminds me of my childhood. And I also used to have a boxing book. What you got free, you collected so many Park Drive packets and you sent it off and they sent you a book back, and on the cover of it, and I don't know if I still got it, it's Henry Cooper just put Cassius Clay on his backside and you got it by Park Drive cigarette things. So again, that makes me relive my childhood memories because that's how I got that book. So yeah.
So the Hands of Stone.
Hands of Stone. I would say that Roberto Duran is the greatest lightweight there's ever been.
Yeah.
And to move up to the weights that he moved up to and went through, and don't forget, went 15 rounds with Marvin Hagler.
Yeah.
You know, so from a lightweight to moving up to what he did. I think he's a good fighter.
So
And we've done 2 evenings with him.
and you've had him in gym.
We've had him in. He came to the gym.
Yeah.
He's nuts.
Yeah.
But I like that. Most fighters are. You've got to be a bit nutty to be a boxer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
He was the guy. If people don't know, probably a lot of people do know this. He used to not. It's all animal rights activists.
Yeah, allegedly he
watching.
knocked the horse out the mule. I've heard that story. That's how he did his finger.
We might get barred off YouTube for talking about knocking horses out.
No, but that's allegedly that's how he got the name Hands of
Yeah.
Stone, because he knocked a mule out or something.
Yeah.
But I can believe that.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Again, I like De La Hoya, and funnily enough, I watched him yesterday. And I watched him against Pacquiao yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to use that scenario. I had Pacquiao beat De La Hoya, one of the kids at the gym. So I watched it and I said, watch Pacquiao, how he boxes De La Hoya, who are a good fighter. I said, and that's how you've got to box.
Do you use a lot of that with your fighters?
Yeah. One of the things when I was boxing, Brenda could never say to me, oh, go on YouTube, watch this. Whereas I can in a position, I can say to the kids, right, watch this fight, watch that fight. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And it's
because
great.
Tyson would advocate with Cuss.
Tyson's a good
Cuss used to sit in and he used to watch old footage, didn't they, on
fighters. Tyson's
projector.
a boxing historian. He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I listened to a podcast yesterday by Tris Dixon and Teddy Atlas.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
I'd recommend anybody to listen to that.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Teddy Atlas is quite well spoken.
Yeah,
and
he
stuff.
surprised me. One of the 2 other things that he said.
Yeah.
I'll not spoil it for people.
No.
But,
What about Tyson? Or
Tyson, of course.
Yeah, there's a famous one though, into when he held gun to his head.
Allegedly,
yeah.
He don't mention that.
No.
But he mentions other things about training.
They've sort of made a bit more amends now.
It becomes romantic.
I know. Recently, you had Mickey Ward over there, which is famous for the film The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg. Played him, didn't he?
Brilliant fighter.
Yeah.
Great fighter.
Gatti fights, weren't they?
Gatti fights, yeah. I think that's what made him the 3 Gatti fights.
Yeah.
We had him over last week. A great bloke. Honestly, sat with him all
very,
night talking.
very
lovely
humble.
bloke, down to earth, humble. I don't think he's anything other than what he is. And it's nice to see somebody.
So how do you get in touch with guys like that to bring them over? Did you go into an agent or?
What happened? How I started doing them years ago. I've done them. I just got a phone call from a kid called Pat Brogan. Right. Would you be interested in doing an evening with Marvin Eigler? Like, yeah. Right.
So that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, straight away.
What we know about you now.
Straight away you go, yeah. And then you go, oh, hang on a minute. Right. So I get a venue, ticket prices, how much does he want? Da, da, da. So the first one we did with Eigler, I think it was, might be 15 years ago. We did 2 with Eigler, 2 with Duran. We've done Sugar Ray Leonard, Ken Norton, Alan Minter.
You've done some good ones,
done some good ones. Yeah. Best one we've done twice, Jake LaMotta.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I'm glad you brought that were in my head, but I'm glad you brought let's talk about Jake LaMotta. So again, people who don't know, De Niro played him in Raging Bull.
Yeah, nominated for something like 10
Scorsese, favourite director.
Great film. If you know boxing, you'll know what you're going through. If you watch it and you don't know boxing so much, you'll just think you're crazy. But you were a little bit nuts. But what a great fighter.
So did he came over here then?
Came over, we did 2 evenings with him. Yeah. And I remember the first time I met him, it was mad. Picked him up at airport.
What was Manchester or?
No, Heathrow first one. Right, and I remember seeing him come off the aeroplane and he got this big cowboy hat on.
And didn't stand out then, did he?
I think he was about 79-year-old at the time when we first did him.
Yeah.
And he got like a suit on and some Adidas trainers.
He's got some style then,
yeah. I thought, you look at this 70-odd-year-old man, former middleweight champion, he's got his cowboy hat on and Adidas trainers.
Yeah.
And I just looked at him, I remember when I talked to him and I said, do you want me to carry your bag? And he went, nope. And he kind of no, I'm all right. Did it. I remember driving up in the limo.
Did he come over with anybody?
Yeah, come over with his girlfriend. She was Denise. She was a lot younger than him.
A lot younger. I didn't know you were going to say that.
A lot younger, but she was all right. But driving up in the limo, it was great for me. I talking to him.
Because you're like, oh my God.
Sat here. I'm sat here.
It's like when I've met famous people, you're like,
I was sat here, but other way around. Jake LaMotta was sat here, and he was asleep. And I remember, I'm looking at his face, and I'm looking at his nose. His nose is like, I'm thinking,
you're thinking Sugar Ray Robinson.
I'm sat in the car here with Jake LaMotta.
Is Sugar Ray Robinson on here?
No, I don't think he is.
No, I mean it's a shame that Jake LaMotta weren't on here tonight.
God.
I need to take one out. I know what I take out on here. There's one I take out on here.
Go on.
Sorry.
Which one?
I'm going to be controversial.
Go on.
Floyd.
Floyd, yeah, take Floyd out.
Floyd.
Take him out.
Yeah.
You don't
Let's
belong
put
with
Jake on
Yeah,
there.
Jake
for
LaMotta
Floyd.
should be on there,
No,
yeah.
Floyd.
But I remember talking to him, and I'm like having to pinch myself. I'm sat in a limo next to Jake LaMotta. And I know he must get asked these questions all the time.
Yeah.
But, it was going on and on and on, and I'm saying, what about when you box Sugar Ray Robinson?
Yeah.
And I remember we'd hired a limo, and it had like a section between the driver and the thing.
Yeah.
So he smoked this big cigar. He got
Right.
this big cigar. I remember there was a phone in the limo,
Yeah.
and the phone rang, so I picked it up, and the driver went, is somebody smoking in the back? And I went, he says,
You're
no
thinking-
smoking. I'm thinking, I can't tell Jake LaMotta he can't
You
smoke.
should have said, listen, pal.
Listen,
Robert
you
De
just
Niro
played
has
this
played
part.
this dude. I ain't
Yeah,
telling him.
I ain't telling him he can't smoke.
And that's when De Niro were at height.
Listen,
Yeah.
I just went, right,
Yeah.
okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
but just sat so close to him, talking to him, asking him boxing questions. Questions he'd probably been asked thousands of times before. How did you feel?
Yeah.
Sugar Ray Robinson, what the film real? How true to the film were it?
Yeah.
I must have got on his nerves, but I thought, you know what, I'm not bothered.
No.
I'm here.
Yeah.
He's captive audience.
Yeah.
I want to know all these.
Yeah.
I'm like a sponge. I want to know all these
Yeah,
things.
that's what I'm like, yeah.
I asked him about doing road work. Did he do road work?
Yeah.
He says no.
The interesting thing with me with that and the film, and obviously I think you tell me that you did ask him, did you get into it about him taking dives?
Yeah, I asked him about that.
Because that was big time. I mean, explain that.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, it was big time then, weren't it? Which is a shame, but...
Yeah, what happened is, back in them days, Mafia, or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
ran boxing.
Yeah.
And the only time you could box, I think at Madison Square Gardens, is if you played the game with them guys.
Yeah.
And that's why Sugar Ray Robinson and Jake LaMotta boxed each other 6 times.
Yeah.
Because they weren't playing them games with them
Yeah.
people, so they had to box each other.
Yeah.
They boxed in Detroit and Chicago and everywhere
Yeah.
except Madison Square Gardens.
Yeah.
But they more or less said to Jake LaMotta...
Is that because he didn't play the game?
Well, because the other firm ran Madison Square
Right,
Gardens,
okay,
and if
right.
you don't play the
No.
game with them, you're not boxing it.
No.
So
Which
that's-
is a shame, because you look back
Yeah.
at them greats that they didn't...
Yeah.
Did they ever box then at Madison Square Garden, either one of them?
I don't know
Not
if
sure.
they did. The Yankee Stadium,
Right.
Chicago,
Yeah.
Detroit. But eventually, what LaMotta realised is, unless you started playing ball with these people,
Yeah. He weren't going to get
you weren't
nowhere.
ever going to get nowhere. So he kind of like let his guard down. He said, all right, I'll tell you what, I'll play the game. And they guaranteed him a world title fight. And many years later, there were a committee
Yeah.
which delved into organised crime and boxing. And
Yeah.
Jake LaMotta got called up and had to sit and testify
Yeah.
that he did take a dive
Yeah.
against this kid called Billy Fox. He said he didn't mind losing, but he weren't going down and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's sad, really, because it kind of like tarnished his image, that.
Yeah.
But like they said to him, it even says it in the film.
Yeah, in the film,
In
yeah.
the film, he's talking to some guy and he says to him, "We don't care how many Sugar Ray Robinsons you beat. Basically, if you don't play the game with us, you'll never get a world title fight." And that must be a terrible thing to think. You're beating everybody,
Yeah.
and no matter who you beat,
Yeah.
you're still not going to get it. So he like,
Yeah, well, shit. I
he
mean,
says, all right.
I mean, can you imagine them being round now, right?
Well, they
And
are, but
then-
they wear suits now, don't they?
Yeah, do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? How things have changed and like just with everything, it's just, I mean, but it's changed big time.
It's
hasn't it?
changed big time, yeah. Boxing, boxing's always going to be boxing. Two
Yeah.
men, with a pair of shorts on, boxing
Yeah.
each other. It's the politics that's involved in boxing that sometimes sickens you, and things that you hear about happening to fighters.
Yeah.
Fighters getting ripped off.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you want
There's a
top
lot
of
of
the tree.
fallouts.
Look at Tyson, the money
Yeah.
that he's lost.
Yeah.
But as a
Well, entourage. I mean, I went to Tyson when he boxed Julius Francis in Manchester.
right, yeah.
I remember going to a hotel afterwards, and the
Yeah.
amount of entourage he got were unbelievable
yeah.
coming out. You know what I mean?
That's just what boxing. That's
Yeah.
one of the things my pet hate in boxing. The anger's on.
Yeah.
The people who are there for. I seen a quote on Facebook the other day about Angelo Dundee, and he put see who's in the dressing room when you lose, rather than when you win, and it's perfect.
You
know.
met Angelo Dundee, didn't you?
Trained in his gym, 19.
I mean,
yeah,
another
trained there.
legend.
Trained.
Another one what De Niro were apparently going to play Angelo.
Was it?
Apparently.
Well, I told you, I've just watched that film, Duran's film,
Yeah.
and he plays Ray Arcel.
Yeah.
So I think De Niro's a bit of a boxing fan.
Yeah,
so
he
we
is.
need
Well,
to
he
get
is,
him over,
yeah.
don't we? We
Yeah.
need to get him over.
Yeah.
We need to have a
But
chat.
it's whether or not again, because I've heard about De Niro, it'd be nice to
Yeah.
have a conversation with Robert De Niro about boxing, wouldn't
Boxing,
it?
yeah, but
And not, yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not.
Because I can imagine if he'd come in here now and sat and we heard us talking, he'd be interested, wouldn't he?
Well, you like to think so, but then again, some of these actors, they're so far up their own arses, aren't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think he is a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think he would be genuinely interested in talking about fighting.
Well, I know a kid who went to see Al Pacino,
Yeah.
and he was so disappointed.
Yeah.
He was
You
so.
wanted to do in poetry.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to hear that.
No,
do you?
you
I mean,
wanna hear
again,
about what were you like when you were in the film
Yeah.
Scarface, and what
Yeah.
were you like when you were in the film?
Yeah.
You don't want to hear. Yeah.
No,
But
it's a shame.
again, that's us thinking that the person you're watching.
Yeah.
They're only portraying this
Yeah.
guy, aren't they? They're not really that guy.
Yeah.
You know, Robert De Niro for me is in all these gangster films and Raging Bull,
Yeah.
but he's not. He's probably nothing like that.
Do you know what I want to bring up? I was talking about films. Obviously, Daniel Day-Lewis played the Irish boxer, and I know McGuigan trained him. Tell us your Barry McGuigan story.
Well, Brendan came and said to me, "Do you want to go to Belfast and spar with Barry McGuigan?" So I said, "Yeah, why not? I'm getting paid."
Yeah. When was this fight for?
Oh God, I can't. We went to world title fight. It was before that.
Before it.
Yeah. So he says, "Right, go to Liverpool." Brendan's brother lived in Liverpool. He says, "You'll put you on the ferry, sail over to Belfast, spar with McGuigan, you get paid." Yeah. I mean, went to Liverpool, went to this address that I got Brendan's brother, Eddie, right character. Knocked on the door. He didn't even know I was coming.
Great organisation. Yeah.
Oh, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
So anyway, went over there, sparred with Barry McGuigan. The first day, the first round, the first punch, he dropped me with a body shot. Left hook to a body, bang.
I bet you were like, what?
Oh, I was embarrassed. I thought, what? Exactly.
Yeah.
They were pressing. There were all these people in the gym, and the first round, he drops me with a body shot. I tell you what, he didn't do it again.
No.
After that, I was like,
Yeah.
I was like roadrunner.
Yeah.
And I remember at his show, his trainer shouting, "Do this, do that." And I'm thinking, fuck off, I'm not standing there and getting dropped with a body shot like that again. Yeah. So I became friends with him. I speak to him. They were in Gleason's gym, and I just missed him when we were in New York. So I rang him, and he drove somewhere. He says, "I'll never get back because of traffic." Yeah. But a great experience.
I like Barry McGuigan because like it's a shame that they stopped him as a pundit because I think he was really good. Me as a pundit.
Yeah,
boxing.
Yeah, some of these. Yeah. I like boxers to talk about boxing.
Yeah.
I went to when he boxed at Loftus Road. I went that night against Eusebio Pedrosa. That was a great night. We had a brilliant night that night. Yeah. And like I say, I like McGuigan. He brought Ireland together, didn't he?
Yeah.
At a time when there were a lot of politics and religion or whatever you want to call it, and he united everybody.
So even though you said Barry McGuigan dropped you, I'm going to put you a word in now.
Yeah.
Right. You said that, but this is what I've heard off other people. So I've heard off a good source that Brendan Ingle always said that pound for pound, you got one of the best right hands he'd ever felt on pads. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
But that's all I've got. You can't just have a right hand.
Yeah.
That was my problem. Like when I used to get desperate, all I used to or run out of energy.
Yeah.
About round 3.
Is that because you didn't do your work?
Didn't train, no discipline.
No.
You can't just have a big right hand.
Yeah.
And so when I used to get tired, which I did all the time, rather than jabbing and setting a point, I used to start slinging this off at the floor, hoping it connected.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10 it wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get lucky and it did.
Yeah.
But I just wished I'd have learned to.
So talking about your career, what's the fight that you always remember as being your proudest moment fighting wise?
Oh God, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Listen, I had 65.
I'm not on about streets here.
No, I'm not on about. You don't do that. I never did that. I'd look from my record. I think, I remember that. Oh bloody, I remember that. One of my highlights has got to be boxing on Eubanks Watsonville. Yeah. Because that was the football ground.
Yeah.
I boxed on Eubanks undercard when he boxed Dan Sherry.
Yeah.
That were all right. Boxed on one of his undercards when he boxed. I've got a lot of highlights.
Yeah.
And we are sitting and looking at my record. None springs to mind.
No.
You know, I got 1991. There was a program called Screen Sport. Got nominated for the knockout of the year against a kid called Neil Ferran. Knocked him out in the 3rd round. Yeah. It's a good job I did because I was just starting to get tired. I was just thinking.
I love your honesty though.
I was just
that's what I mean. That's what I like about you is that you know what I mean. There's so many people would have gone told that and then just not said that.
No, I remember. I boxed a kid called Simon Eubanks, Chris Eubanks' brother.
You were like Butterbean. You were good for 3 rounds.
I was good for 3. I remember I stopped him in the 3rd round, but I remember getting a clinch and thinking to myself, I am and it was only third round. And luckily I stopped him.
Yeah.
And that was the story of my career, wasn't it? That was the story of my life, you know. I managed to get through some fights, but just by, I wouldn't say natural talent, just by...
toughness,
luck,
yeah.
Bit of luck, bit of toughness, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Managed to
It's
get
more
through a
than
lot of fights like that. And that's it.
Yeah.
And the thing with me, you look at me now, I look in good shape, but I don't do no training.
No,
I didn't do no training then. So a lot of fighters could look at themselves and think, oh, I've got to get in the gym, look at my belly.
Yeah.
I never like that.
No.
So I could make the
fast
weight
metabolism.
easier. I don't know what it is, but I'm just very, very fortunate to stay like this.
Right, well, we're on about stuff. Right. Ready, we're back to that game again.
Go on. Which stuff?
Prince Nazim Hamid.
Well, yeah.
Straight away.
Straight away.
Don't think about it too much.
Great fighter. Yeah. Great fighter. Could have done so much more for boxing after he retired, and he's not, has he?
No.
So,
no.
Enough.
Johnny Nelson.
Johnny, me and Johnny aren't that much different. I think Johnny's about 5 years younger than me. There's a story about me and Johnny that, you know, there's two versions of the story.
See, while we're going to... I'm glad we... you say what you want to say, but I don't want you to hold back. But what's interesting, right, this is from me, right?
Go on.
I've never met you before up until a few weeks ago. I've heard all sorts of rumours about certain fighters through Sheffield, whatever, Nottingham, blah, blah, blah. I've heard 5 versions of Johnny's story. And like you said, I know you're not bothered about it, but it's interesting to hear your side of the story from horse's mouth. So
well, there's two versions. There's Johnny's version and there's the truth. I actually should be fortunate that Johnny actually wrote and given me a chapter in his book, or not. He actually wrote about it in the book. Yeah. What really happened were absolutely nothing happened. What happened
just
is
blown out of proportion.
John, I got done for, I'll show you the letter, for allegedly attacking Johnny Nelson.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
No.
I got fined by the board for bringing the game into disrepute. Johnny had a fallout with Naz, which were nothing to do with me. But he rang me up saying that you tell people whatever. But
got all blown out. Yeah.
It all got blown out of proportion. We met each other at the the Hilton Hotel.
Yeah. You got a fight.
I got Regan making his debut. Johnny came to get weighed in. Johnny was top at bill.
Yeah.
Going back to
can you remember who we were boxing?
I think it was Bruce Scott.
Okay.
Going back to what you said about Johnny, I'll just go back a bit with that. Yeah. Johnny Nelson, for somebody who had a terrible amateur career, went on to do really well. Look,
well, we're not slagging Johnny off, we were just saying
he went on to be world champion. Yeah. Well, I'd like to take this opportunity to clarify my version of the story.
Yeah.
We met in the Victoria Hotel, and I thought it's going to kick off. So we stood nose to nose. Well, nose to nose, a bit bigger than me. Yeah. That's why I found it a bit funny when bizarre when it says that I attacked Johnny Nelson. Yeah. And I'll show you the paperwork. I've still got the paperwork. Yeah. Nothing happened. I mean, if anything, I take my hat off to Johnny's now ex-wife. She actually punched me in the face, which she
Can she bang?
Something went off. It was like between me and Johnny.
Is that why your nose is flat?
Yeah, no.
It's not just that short.
Between me and Johnny, it was like handbags at 10 paces.
Yeah.
Trust me, nothing happened. Yeah. He didn't throw no punches. I didn't throw no punches. Yeah. It was a load of shit. So all these stories, nothing happened. Yeah. And anyway, I got reported to the board. I think Brendan and Johnny. It says on the thing from the board that what I'm supposed to have done. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Yeah, it was just
all
like
got blown out of proportion. Handbags.
Pushing and shoving.
Not even pushing and shoving.
No, okay.
Nothing.
Not even
Johnny's
that.
missus, Debbie.
Yeah,
ex-missus.
You were left hook
She
or
me something, and I thought, well done.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 to her. Yeah. That's the kind of bird you want when
you're backing a man up.
Backing you up. So 10 out of 10 to Debbie. But all in all, I'll put this story to bed. What Johnny wrote in his book, people have to believe that or don't believe it. Yeah. If you believe that, that's up to you. But then, listen, I'm not going to say nothing bad about Johnny. He's done really, really well. Yeah. But that incident, which everybody adds a bit on, takes a bit off.
So do you think other people, well, not saying names, were put up to saying he did this, he did that type of thing?
Well, I've read what he's wrote in his book, and I'm like, why has he wrote that? That didn't happen. Yeah. I think one of the... In his book, it says something that I were hiding behind some chairs or something. Now, anybody knows me, I won't hide behind no chairs from fucking nobody. Listen, I'm not bothered with you. I'd rather get beat up. I've been beat up before, and I'll probably be beat up again. Yeah. I ain't going to hide behind no chairs from anybody. So, get a chance to read Johnny's book. It's probably a good book. Yeah. And the bit that he wrote about me, believe it or not, people know me, people know him, people can make no mind.
Did you get banned for that then?
No, I got fined. I had to go to London, and we got fined, but... Because it was such a joke. Naz paid for a barrister to go with me. We got down there and Johnny called his witnesses, which they told lies.
So were this in front of boxing board of
Yeah,
control?
to be in front of board of control.
Jeez.
I told my version, Johnny told his version. And again, nothing.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was nothing. Yeah. I got fined. I can't remember how much I got fined. I paid it weekly.
£1 a week. You're still paying it now?
Probably still paying it now, but trust me, nothing happened. It was just a load of...
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, and then like you say, I've heard all these versions. And do you know something? Before, people who I know, they've always said that to me. I think I said that to you before. And it's like you said, it's nothing.
It's nothing.
But it just shows you how Chinese whispers go through South Yorkshire or wherever.
People had a bit on.
And everybody's always said to me, when I told that we were doing this, they went, I dare you. Listen to it. I dare you to ask Glyn real story about what happened with Johnny Nelson.
Well, that's a real story. Yeah. Hey, me and Johnny have never spoke since.
No.
You know, he's commentated on fights when my fighters have been fighting. He's done the professional thing. He's commentated. We've never spoke since. Yeah. And I think he's about 5 years younger than me. We were in the gym together as kids growing up, whatever. We weren't friends. We just happened to be in the same gym. Yeah. Johnny were more friends with Bomber and Naz than I were. Yeah. And we just happened to be in the same game. Yeah. I ain't got no bad feelings to him. Listen, life's too short.
I mean, like I say, it'd be nice. Well, it ain't a big deal, but nice if you could just bury it, actually.
I had buried it. Yeah. Listen, I had buried it until the book came out. And then I read the book and I thought, cheeky bastard. Yeah. Why is he lying like that? Yeah. But you don't know who's... It's got to be...
Because maybe somebody behind Johnny went, well, you need to put a bit more, something like that in to sell it. I don't know. Again, I know.
Handbags at 10 paces ain't going to sell your autobiography, is it?
Well, you won't
Between
think
me
so.
And him.
No.
What he should have done to me, and I'd have had more respect for him, when I stood up, he should have just gone bump and knocked me the fuck out. Yeah. I'd have had more respect for him for that. Yeah. And that never happened.
No.
But ringing people up on telephones and being telephone tough guys and all that is a lot of shit. Yeah. But anyway, enough of that. Listen.
No, yeah, definitely. So, I mean, let's just finish on the future for you. What?
Future's looking
I mean,
good,
you can't get any better than that.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, you can. But I mean, it's not. I mean, it's amazing that we talked about everything like that, and you've given back, and like you say, you've earned that with your life. You know what I mean? Because you give back, ain't you?
Well, you like to think so. You know, people said to me in the past, would you rather win a WBC or an MBE? Yeah. Which one would you rather? Well, listen, I'd love to have won a WBC title, but the MBE is given to you by people for what you've achieved. Boxing, you win a WBC title for your own, for your own efforts, right? But that's given to you by other people for what they think you've done for the community and how much money you've raised and that kind of thing. So I think I'd rather have that than and there's only 2 people in Sheffield got them. Yeah, there's more people got them, but how can I say this? There's only 2 people in Sheffield got them for boxing as such. These other people got them, but Brendan Ingle you can't ever take away that Brendan deserved one.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, I like to think I deserve one. Yeah. Anybody else who's got one, good luck to him.
Yeah.
But it's probably one of the best things I've ever achieved.
So, like you say, because it is a big thing. So like I say, obviously you're doing your everyday life and you're going back in gym and doing this, that, and other, and blah blah blah. And you think like you say, what is there anything else now? Or you're just living
just keep doing what I'm doing. Listen, I'm
because you're still giving back.
I'm giving back. I'm in a very fortunate position. Yeah. I've got a lovely house, 2 lovely kids. Yeah. I'm financially all right. Secure-ish. Through boxing. Yeah. We've got Tommy Frank boxing for WBC.
Yeah, let's talk about Tommy. Sorry, Tommy, we didn't mention you because obviously this. Let's talk about Tommy.
Yeah, well, there's not just Tommy. There's a lot of other fighters. Yeah, but obviously
Tommy's your main guy at the moment.
At this particular time at Sheffield Boxing Centre, Tommy Frank's flying the flag. He's boxing at Ponds Forge again.
Is it like flyweight?
Yeah, flyweight. He's boxing at flyweight. He's boxing a Mexican kid, so it's going to be a tough fight. Yeah. And I keep saying to Tommy, he could probably earn a bit more money if he did this or if he did that, but he's boxing and topping the bill in his hometown. Yeah, yeah. We're not going to London. We're not going to Scotland. He's topping the bill. Dennis is promoting the show, and he's topping the bill. Dennis Hobson's promoting the show. Yeah. And Tommy Frank's topping the bill in his own backyard again. Yeah. The Mexicans coming here. Yeah. We're not going to Mexico. And so that's got to be worth a few quid, just to have the fight in your own backyard. Yeah. Cause when I walk past the City Hall now, I look at it and I almost bore my kids to death. I went to town the other day and as we were walking past, I said, I remember walking out there and blah, 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 blah. So Tommy's going to be like, in a few years' time, Tommy will be walking past Pons Forge and say, remember when I boxed?
Yeah.
You can't buy them things, can
No,
you?
you can't put a price on them memories.
So he's flying the flag for Sheffield Boxing Centre at the moment. We've also got Kane Salvin on the undercard and Keenan Wainwright. But looking back over the last 20 years that we've been there, 25 years, we've had some good fighters come through that gym. Honestly, we have.
Yeah,
some
Sam Sheedy.
I'm going to forget somebody. I'm not going to mention.
Yeah, let's
You've
talk
got
to
your Lee
Sam.
Edwards, your Sam Sheedy, your Carl Wilds, your John Fuchs.
Yeah.
There's
I remember we talked about when John sparred with Amir Khan.
Amir Khan came to the gym and sparred with Fuke.
Yeah.
Fuke should have done a lot more than he did.
Yeah.
But talking to Fuke...
Do you think Fuke is a little bit like you?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, again, I heard stories about John. No disrespect to you, John, but very similar to you, I think.
And you know, John's doing great now. There's a lot of fighters from our gym who, through boxing, are doing great. You know, they've come through the system and now they're training fighters themselves in their own gyms. And it's absolutely brilliant that fighters do that. And I think more fighters need to stay in the game and do that. Because what a lot of fighters do is, they drift away and people forget about them. Yeah. And it's a lot of depression now. People stay in the gym. If you're an ex-fighter, stay in the gym.
Yeah, because exercise gets rid of them endorphins and to do with stress and all that.
We need ex-fighters to stay in the gym and pass the knowledge on to the kids. I do everything that Brendan taught me and put my own slant on it.
That's interesting. So you take a lot of Brendan's principles and do your...
I only never knew Brendan. From 16 to 33, I only never knew Brendan's ways of doing it. All right,
I went to America. Father figure.
I went to America and trained in them gyms and took the good points and put my own slant on it. Now, Fuke, Mansour and Ross and all these other guys who've got gyms, they put their slant on what they do. Regan, they do
from you.
To take what I've learned from Brendan, and it has a knock-on effect. It's like a tree, different branches.
I was one of them guys. Hopefully one day will get something like that.
I'm sure one of them will. Listen, to keep doing what they're doing what I've done for the last 25 years, gone like that. But I'm sure. I remember Brendan used to say to me all the time goes so fast.
Who's that?
Brendan. He always used to go on about time. And I find myself now telling my kids, it goes like that.
It does.
25
That's
years.
why you've got to enjoy life.
And
you've got to try and... Because we're not here forever, are we?
Forever. Listen, if I die tomorrow, I've had a right life for me.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody feeling sorry for me because I've had a right kick up ball. So, and that is all you can hope for.
See it in gym.
Listen, that's all you can
hope
for.
That's your life,
that's
isn't
my life. Listen, I've had periods. I've had some bad times as well. Don't get me wrong. It's not all being plain sailing.
Yeah.
I've had some really, really bad times, which we'll talk about in podcast too. Yeah. Right.
But it's going back to Scott and things,
things
up
like
and
that.
down. Yeah, exactly.
Up and down. But you just got to keep going. And I've had a right life for me through boxing. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about boxing.
Well, I think that's perfect, mate.
Good.
Yeah.
I've got to
and
rock and roll.
Anyway, interesting character. We could be here all day. But be nice if you put some comments on underneath, and maybe when me and Glyn do another one, if you want to ask him something, because hopefully people from all over the country and everything don't really know you, and they might start looking and say, who's this guy, Glyn Rhodes? He's a character.
Facebook,
you know what I mean?
Twitter, you can get in touch with me anywhere. Yeah. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Yeah. There are people that I don't get along with and who'll write some shitty comments. Johnny might write, what a wanker. Yeah. That's up to him.
So he's working for Sky, he can't say things like that. It's too PC.
There's going to be people, you're going through life and you're not going to keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
So, listen, everybody's entitled to the opinion.
You can't.
You know what Brendan used to say, going back to Brendan again? Yeah. You can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time. Yeah. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, aren't they? Yeah. And that's it. And people form whatever they want. Right. Good man.
Thank you.
I've got to go.
Thanks a lot.
Look at time.
Yeah.
I'm rocking and rolling now. I've got to go to Doncaster.
Right. Marvellous.
Time out.